What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Pew Pew
Podcast. It's been a month and it still felt good.
Yeah, I let that one sink in for a little bit. Like, I was just sitting there like with the pause, and I was just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, man, the podcast. It's back. Yeah.
It's back. We're back, and I'm happy about it. Sorry for the delay in the video. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but I thought we lost content, and then magically we didn't lose content because Ice is a fucking god. And then, here we are tonight recording the podcast. Literally just learned that we didn't lose the last podcast, and, I'm pretty happy about it.
Yep. Get 2 podcasts back to back. Massive content release. Dude,
Back to back.
October's a crazy month already. Let's go.
Welcome to 2020. All right, guys, we're just going to hit you with some random stuff. Today's podcast is going to be about 12.8 patch notes for Escape from Tarkov. Surprise, another Escape from Tarkov podcast. But, I'm here for it because this patch is going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. Mm-hmm. This patch, honestly, I'm not ragging on the team for what they've done in the past. This patch with the expansion of customs would have been like the best update to a game in 2020.
That would have been insane
if they would have put this all together. I mean, obviously it's a lot of work, but
yeah, that would have been unreal. To test everything, I think would have been the main issue.
Probably, yeah. Plus, they're still, from what I can tell, Nikita said they're still socially distancing. They're not working at the office, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they're putting this out while social distancing is freaking wild.
Kudos. Nothing but straight kudos. So today's podcast gonna be about 12.8 patch coming out soon TM. I'm assuming it's gonna be sometime this week when I release this podcast. I'm really hoping that's what kind of everyone's assuming. I think we're all really ready for something new in Tarkov, and I will admit there's not a lot of new like expansions or anything like that, but the quality of life changes, the updates to the game, and then also they added some stuff, like all of it. It's just beautiful. It's fantastic. But jump into the patch notes. I'm going to link them down in the description down below if you guys want to read along as we're talking about it. But the very first thing, there's going to be a new skill in the hideout called crafting. Awesome. Like, the more crafting we do, I'm assuming we're going to be better at crafting. We're going to, maybe it'll take less time to craft your ammunition. It'll take less time to craft, your GPXs and all those things that used to take like 48 hours. Like, kudos. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Then hideout management skill, Don't know what that's going to be, but hey, I'm all for new skills. And then the biggest one, new special item compass. They are finally adding the compass to Escape from Tarkov, and I was super excited for it before. I kind of fell off the bandwagon because I got to know the map so well, and our comms are pretty good, but this compass is done very well. Not only does it tell you the cardinal direction, it gives you the degree that you just pull it out. It's a very clean animation. You can look at the degree. You can tell your teammates if you're running with someone new, hey, they're 240. Then they can pull out their compass and they can have a general idea of where you're looking. And it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's going to make a lot of newer players much more comfortable with the game, diving into it.
Exactly. More comfortable. It does have its own item slot. I'm low-key kind of hoping that there's a quest to get the compass. I think they're just going to give it to everyone, which is fine too. But like, I kind of want it to be like the 3rd or 4th quest in the game, like gives you the compass. It's got its own slot right next to your pocket slots. It sits there. You have your own hotkey for it. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be a really good addition. Moving on to the next one. New type of bleeding. A heavy bleeding is being added to the game. So guess what, guys? We get to carry more meds. Smile. Just carry more meds. A lot more. So the new heavy bleeding may open with a lower chance than normal bleeding. Heavy bleeding requires a special treatment item to stop it. So essentially, if you get shot as much as Ice gets shot in a typical raid, you're going to leave a blood trail on the map for people to hunt your ass down unless you have the correct items to stop that heavy bleeding.
Yeah, a lot of my limbs are just all over the maps, man. I leave body parts every single raid I go into. I have to put my legs back on probably at least 4 times a raid, average.
We do talk about that a lot. You're constantly medding, and it's just like, it's kind of impressive. I typically just get head eyes. You're just like, hang on, I gotta fix my arm, then we can push. I'm like, how do you do that?
I wish I could tell you, man. I don't know. My surgery skill is pretty crazy. I need to look. Actually, hold on. I have the game up in the background. What is my surgery skill at since it just came out recently? It's almost level 8 already, which is kind of wild.
That is pretty wild. I don't have the game up, but I guarantee I'm at like 3. Because I normally get head eyes. That's about it.
A new head eye skill, dude.
A new head-eye skill. So the new items that they're adding for the heavy bleeding is, excuse me, because I don't exactly know how to say the word. I think it's tourniquet. Tourniquet.
Yeah, it's tourniquet.
Tourniquet. All right, we nailed it. Don't excuse me. I got
it. It's the S-March tourniquet, hemostatic syringe, and kvass beverage.
So the kvass beverage, do we know much about that?
No clue.
Okay, cool. But there's, well, it's just a beverage. Maybe I was assuming it was part of the heavy bleeding.
It could be like a medical beverage potentially that could like help with, I don't know, help bleeding or something like that.
Here, drink these roots and grasses and feel better.
I don't know, man.
In Tarkov.
I don't know.
Either way, yeah, it works.
Because most of those are related to, like, they put it right after bleeding. The other two seem to be related to bleeding. You would think the kvass beverage maybe has something with like coagulation, like blood coagulation if you drink it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Just to kind of help like slow a bleed or something like that. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I'm for it. Like, let's drink something and just be badasses. There you go.
Yep.
Welcome to Tarkov.
Take some whiskey and then some kvass beverage. You won't feel any pain, dude. You're fine.
There you go. You don't even have to paint up for the rest of the raid. Moving on, the next one is a huge one, in my opinion. There is a fast backpack dump.
This is the Sweaty Boys update.
This is the Sweaty Boys update, indeed. So you can, I think it's double tapping Z. Yeah, I'm reading. I say I think, and then I read. Double tap Z by default. You will drop your backpack. So if you're running around as a chonky boy, you found those 6 fuels in the back of Ollie and Interchange, and you get into a fight. Everyone knows, or you should know, you want to drop your backpack so you can run around in this fight and be, light on your feet. You're not 75 kilo and not able to move. Now there is a bind for it, so you don't have to go in to your inventory and then right-click discard and then mess it up and then try it again like I do all the time. It's a nice quality of life change that I think everyone's been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Most people, I feel like newer players won't use that at all. It's mostly...
I think they're going to do it on accident and be like, where'd my backpack go?
It's kind of like when you're hot reloading and you drop a mag.
Yep.
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Tarkov.
But yeah, I don't think that's for newer players. I think that's for the players that just love PvP. You get into a fight, dump your backpack so you can run faster, kill the player, pick up your backpack, keep going.
And there you go. You move on. And I agree with you. And, hey, sometimes the veterans need an update too, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Agreed.
I'm for it. So that's a lot of the bigger updates. There's a couple more things. There's going to be a couple new voice lines for the bear. There's going to be new voice lines and... just new voices of the Scav bosses, Glucose, Janitator, and Rashali Boy, and then also new clothing for Scavs and animations. Oh, that's one of the big ones that we've been asking in this podcast for. We are now going to get to see the boys and /or girls loading into a raid, all standing next to each other, looking like straight chonky boys in the loading screen. We're all going to show up when you're in a group. You guys get to show up and get to see what everyone's wearing, so you can just stare at everyone in all of their gloriousness. That one's big. I like that. I don't know why. I really want to see the squad before we go out and go slaying on, Snorline.
I agree.
But I just really want to do it.
I agree. I think it's really, really cool. I think the inventory, if you can go into inventory, into your stash while you're on that loading screen, would be even cooler. But I don't think there's that yet. But I feel like they're starting to get to the point where that might be possible.
Yeah, I mean, if they're starting to play with that load-in screen, a girl can dream.
Yeah, right.
There's going to be some new clothing for both the USEC and the bear, and then there's a crap ton, and I can't even begin to describe how many things I saw in the actual podcast, but there's going to be a crap ton of new armored vests, chest rigs, backpacks, headphones, helmets. Headphones is a big one that caught my eye that I haven't heard really anyone talk about, because I've been a Comtac fan, pretty much sole Comtac fan for... I don't know, since I started the game. Yeah. So maybe one of these new headphones, like, that changes. Like, I'm a big sound man in Tarkov. I can't be Sheaf. I can't wear an Alton all the time. I have to hear everything, and I feel like the Comtacs allow me to do that.
Imagine if they put in a headset that you could wear with an Alton.
That'd be cheating. You get earbuds.
Yeah.
That would
no, like it wouldn't be like crazy good like Comtacs or normal headsets, but you could hear a little bit, like maybe it brings your sound back to normal if you weren't wearing Comtacs,
Oh, the Alton, you mean?
Yeah. No. Like if you're wearing an Alton, but it brought your sound to the point where if you were not wearing any helmet, like any ear an enhancement or you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. That would actually be, wow. That's I'm like smiling thinking.
It'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
We'll be seeing a bunch of Alti boys.
Yeah, Altons.
Running around
what are the
everywhere.
other? What's the tier 6 one with the tier 4 face mask?
I knew you were gonna ask, and I can't remember. It's the Darth Vader helmet. Is how I remember it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you wore on your Darth Vader run.
I mean, using stuff you don't use stuff like that because you don't hear anything, but the Alton, because of the tier 5 all around your head, makes it worth sacrificing. The other, the tier 6, but the tier 4 face mask, it's not worth it.
Nope.
If they could maybe make something for those to make those more worth it, like the Alton, you do not get any sound enhancement, but maybe those get like some earbuds or something where you can hear better while you're wearing those. I don't know, but I liked all the new stuff that's coming, the new equipment. I think it's super cool.
I can 100% agree. I didn't see anything new coming in that I was just like, why? Like, why?
Yeah.
So I'm for it. Speaking of new, there are a couple new guns coming. There's a new pistol, the M45A1. I think they showed it off a little bit. Pistols in Escape from Tarkov. I'd love to say they're amazing, but they're just a little lackluster. But I mean, that's a pistol.
Yeah.
In my opinion. There's a new shotgun coming in. There's an RFB rifle coming in. That is a 7.62x5.1 rifle. So that's going to be shooting your M80, your M62.
I'm excited for that, dude.
That's going to be interesting. He was using that primarily on the podcast that Nikita and the boys
Do you
put
think
on.
it'll be a mega high end better than a T5000 sniper?
It looked. Wait, was it a sniper?
I don't know. I didn't see.
I don't think it was. I think it was more like a DMR. Like
even
it was
better.
more like a. Yeah, I don't know. When I saw him using it, he didn't throw a bunch of mods on it, and the kick on that bad boy, it kicked like a mule.
Was it pretty gross? Okay.
It was pretty tough. I mean, it recentered well, but it was just like ka-choo, ka-choo.
I'm excited to use it. If it's a DMR and it shoots sniper ammo, like sign me up, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure both of us are kind of on the same page for that. Like, let's do that. Let's do that. And apparently there's going to be new mods for various weapons. I'm not going to lie. I can't think of any of them that they showed, or even if they did show any, that really stood out. But I'm hoping, because Nikita likes to keep some things secret from all of us, which is great. I love that as well. I'm hoping there's going to be some new fun mods to add to things. Yep. That's all of the new content. And I mean, we were talking about that for a long time. That's just the new content coming in with 12.8. Quality of life, I think, is the bread and butter of this patch. So we already talked about redesigning the group screen gathering so we can all see each other, and that's awesome. One of the big things is you can now change, I think by default, you can see the health on your top left side. So normally when you get shot, right, you see your limb being blacked or you see parts of your body being red. You can, I think you can change it so that you can see different colors for different amounts of damage to the body. That's nice because that's just another visual indicator for you to, you know, glance at it and be like, okay, I need to stop this heavy bleeding because something's red or something like that. I don't know if that's how it works, but at least then you can know you have more options, more ways to play and like just quickly assess the situation that you're in. They added a new, for mods, weapons, and items move with the mouse, the drag and drop. Now, when you move something, if they fit somewhere, it'll be green if you can place inside it, and it'll be yellow if you can stack. So, the way I take that is when you're trying to min-max, and you're like, this gun has a bunch of rails on it, and I don't remember all 755,000 rails that can go on a gun, that can go on a... yeah. Now it's just going to be yellow. You're like, hey, drag that over there, and there you go. I like that. I feel like a lot of hardcore players might not like that, but I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan of it. I can't
that's
even
not,
memorize
that's
gun
not going
builds
to
right
hurt anyone. All that's doing is just making life a little bit better. I'm
Yep,
okay with that.
yep.
I'd even go as
Take
far to
all
say,
of the
like,
loot.
if a gun was in a backpack that had a rail on it where something would fit and you dragged that thing to the backpack, it would connect it to the gun automatically. But that might be a little bit too far.
That would be nice. I would like that, but yeah, maybe a little too far.
Yeah.
You kind of have to know at least
Yeah.
what attachments can go in a gun, I guess. But no, I'm for it because, I mean, at that point, you're just making players more of a loot runner themselves. Like, you kill one player and they can put all the attachments on that gun for you.
Yeah, when you get that
Like,
guy
why
that knows
not?
what they're doing, they min-max and you kill them, you're like, oh. Like you
like
don't
you
have
did
to
earlier today in labs.
You don't have to
There you
spend
go.
30 minutes min-maxing. That guy already did for you. So
Exactly. And maybe that's going to keep people in raid a little bit longer because they're actually going to start to try and min-max, or like, you know, they can match color to color. Everyone hopefully hashtag heck the colorblind community, can do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have a colorblind option.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
True.
I think that's a great quality of life change in general. One of my favorite things, because this has been one of my number one complaints with the flea market. If you go buy a full stack of ammo and someone bought 2 bullets before you pressed buy all, it will now buy the entire stack that is there instead of saying, oh, sorry, there's only 168 of the 170 that you were trying to buy. And then you don't get any of it. So now, if that wasn't clear, you get to buy everything when you hit purchase all. If someone snaked a couple of bullets from you or a couple grenades or whatever you're trying to buy, it will buy the remainder of whatever you're trying to buy.
That's so nice. That's been well
Thank
overdue.
You, Nikita.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Automatic sorting is now going to be a thing. You're going to have a sort button inside your stash and inside your containers in the stash. We got to see a little preview of it. It was a little janky in the podcast. I think they're going to do some more changes, but I mean, it's going to be in the game, which is great. And then also the biggest thing is it works really well on ammo containers. So now you guys can throw all of your ammo into one container if you want to sort it by, ammo type or whatever. And then you can click on that sort button, and instead of dragging and dropping every piece of ammo yourself, it'll sort it all. I don't think it'll stack, but hey, it's a step in the right direction in my opinion.
I assumed that it would stack. I'm kind of sad that it doesn't, but yeah, that's fine. You can stack it at the end.
I was watching Geeks right after it, and I think we were having a conversation in chat about how it didn't, but hey, I feel like that could be something they could implement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And that will be something they implement like down the line pretty soon, I guess. There's so many. I'm like reading through the list. I'm like, which one do I want to talk about? I keep bouncing around. You get to see in the kill list after the raid, the field distance showing the distance of the fatal shot was added. So you can take this one of two ways. Either we're going to get to see how far every player or scav that we've killed in that raid, right after their name, there will be a distance, or when we die to a shot, it's going to tell us how far away that person was when they shot us.
I hope it's both.
I'm okay with both. Yeah. I'm great with both, because it's always nice, helping your teammate out, sure, after death comms, whatever, but also sometimes you just get shot even when you're playing solo and you're like, where did I get shot from?
Mm-hmm.
And like it just kind of helps you piece the story together.
And then if that guy hits you from like 580 meters away, you can friend him after and be like, yo, dude, nice shot.
Bro, that was a shot and a half.
Send me the YouTube video when you upload it.
Yeah, please don't mind me. Yeah, no, that's another, again, great quality of life change that they're making. At the flea market, the current flea market filters are no longer applied to your list of offers in your wish list. Whatever, how often. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really use my wish list. Do you use your wish list?
No, I should more. We know people that do, and it's a great idea. You just set up your kit that you normally go with. I think what the difference is between myself and a lot of those people is I have a ton of stuff ready to go. I have kits
in your stash,
in my stash, ready to go. I have rigs with all the nades, all the heals, everything just like ready. So if I die, or I need to re-kit for whatever reason, then I just literally throw it on me and go. It takes me all of a minute to get ready for another raid, where like if you're having to buy your stuff every single time and put your guns together, it literally takes like 5 minutes every single time to get back in the raid. At least, which would be great to have like the full kit option. Like we have our presets, we've talked about this before, but if you have a full kit preset, just hit that one button and all of it equips to your guy. You don't have all your stash issues with like the space and putting all this stuff together. If it just all equipped in the background and just put it straight on your guy instead of going into the stash. Preset. That's your preset. That'd be cool.
There you go. That'd be beyond cool. That'd be freaking amazing.
Yeah. And you have like 10 different presets. You have your middle tier, you have your juicy stuff, your sniper, whatever. But that would make life so much better than like when people have to get out, rebuild their gun, buy all their stuff, go to their wish list, get all their heals, and like, just takes a while.
Yes. Yeah. That I think that's one of our best ideas personally. That should be added 110% tomorrow, and no one would complain at all. Scrolling through the rest of the list here, there's just so much, and like I'm trying to keep it to a manageable length. I'm going to skip over a lot of stuff here, but like I said, I'm going to put all of the patch notes down in the description down below, so feel free to read through it because we're not touching on everything, and we would be literally sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah, and most of the others are just small little things, like you're not even going to notice, really.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a couple of optimizations coming in, iteration of animation system, so hopefully the game's going to feel a little bit smoother. That's what I've been...
Wait, I just read this, and we just talked about it. Outside of Raid, the stash can now be opened and closed by pressing the tab hotkey.
Yeah. So when you're in,
So when you're waiting in queue.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Right? My brain just registered that. I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Wait, no one said that. Oh my god, if we realize that's fucking big brain. Holy, no one. I've watched a bunch of videos, like people reviewing these patch notes and stuff. No one has made that correlation.
That'd be kind of wild, man.
I hope you're right, dude. That would be so big. That'd be so big. Holy. See, I can't stop thinking about that now. Optimization. They're trying to optimize the game. That's great. I'm happy to see them moving towards that. AI improvements. This is kind of big. So they're adding weapon swaying to bot movements, which is great because if you've ever looked at a scav walking around, they look like they move, but their gun's just static. And you can obviously tell that it's a scav. Honestly, anytime it's a player scav, they're typically ducking and diving. It's pretty easy to see, but it's nice to see them updating that a little bit. Bots now respond to the follow me gesture, so we're going to be able to create scav armies, like proper scav armies.
That's going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited for it. There's going to be a reason for scavs, at least, to stay in raids for longer and try and... I'm personally, as soon as this comes out and I do my first scav, I'm going to try and get like a scav gang of like 5 or 6 people in the middle of like K buildings or something. We're going to be our own Glucose and the boys. Yeah. Go
down to the fences. Like sometimes there's like 4 or 5 scavs that spawn down there. Yep. And then get them all and come back up out of Hermetic and start blasting.
Wave them up. And then anyway, we started blasting. Fix the bot behavior in combat when his target is outside the door. So what they were saying with that is it would literally run through the door sometimes. It would glitch through the door. They would just... It's fixed, hopefully. That'd be amazing. They fixed a bug when killing the guards of a scav boss that the rest of the scav gang wouldn't take up the role of the guard. And what that means is if you haven't fought a lot of scav bosses, they have typically, like Glucose is going to be my example, they have 2 guards and they'll be hyper aggressive for a certain amount of distance around Glucose. If you come within that distance as a scav, they'll flip you off. If you push past that, they'll actually start shooting you. PMCs, you're going to worry about them all the time, but a lot of the scavs weren't picking up like the rest of the guards. They weren't actually being the bodyguards that they were supposed to be, so that'll be fun. And then the biggest one out of all of this, Raiders now attack regular scavs.
That's crazy, man. I didn't expect that.
No, I had no idea. That's insane. That's going to be so much fun. Yeah. We need Raiders on every map. Yeah. We need Raiders clearing out maps.
I wonder how quickly, especially on reserve, because Raiders can spawn immediately. If there's just going to be like World War III going on right away, Raiders are going to start engaging scavs. It'd be nuts.
I'm for it. I'm so for it. It's just going to be so much fun. Yeah, but then you think about it and it's like, okay, so the Raiders should probably be able to put down scavs pretty well, but then they're also going to tune down in this patch the amount of scavs that spawn in reserve, and then they're also changing so that player scavs can't spawn in at like, what was it, ridiculous, like
43 minutes,
4 minutes,
like 2 minutes in. This is like it's probably my favorite update. This entire thing is that because it's gotten to the point where I don't want to play reserve because you literally have to get 15 kills. I think we said this on the last podcast. You have to get like 15 kills and get out of the raid with like 2 minutes left to get any loot because you're fighting literally the whole time. Unless you go underneath. If you go underneath, then you have to fight a bunch of players. But once you're done fighting, you can pretty well hit the switch, get out. If you're up top, you have to fight player scavs and raiders and other players for literally 35 minutes.
It's straight silly sometimes, especially when there's like decent player scavs, because like, people scav in, they don't really know what they're doing, but like when you have clearly like someone who's played the game for quite a while on reserve on a player scav, they're pretty much a PMC at that point. And I'm for it. Like, I'm at a challenge, let's go. But then there's like 12 of them in K buildings. It's like I can't actually take on this many people.
Yeah, I ran in.
There's just no way.
I was in K buildings and I ran into a player scav 4 man. Two of them went on top of the buildings, and they went to different angles on the buildings, and then two of them pushed from different angles on the like underside of me, and they like triangulated on my position and all pushed me at the same time. I was like, dude, these guys are professional scavs.
And so you got played on.
Yeah. No, I did not survive. Spoilers.
Nope. I mean, that's fun. That's fine. But when there's like, if you run into one or two of those, adding to the intensity. But reserve has been redonkulous lately. And then that on top of like the regular scavs and the aim lock and then raiders. And the reserve's going to be a lot more fun come 12.8. I'm reading through all the bugs. I'm not seeing a bunch of them that jump out at me that I really want to touch base on. The SV98 trigger delay is quote unquote going to be fixed. They claim again, so last patch was supposed to fix if you're like, let's say you black a limb and you apply a Surf 12 or your CMS to your limb. If you guys don't know, right now you can actually go pack a mag as you're Surf 12ing. It's a little bit of an exploit, I guess, but it's something that kind of keeps the flow going a little bit. Supposedly they fixed that. If you're healing at all, you're not going to be able to do any other things with your hands or it will stop the current action. I'm kind of on the fence about that. That was one of the things, like, if you had enough game skill to me and you could do that, whatever. That's fine. It just makes you not sit in a corner for 12 minutes trying to repack your mags. But at the same time, it was kind of a bug.
Yep.
They changed a couple of the stims. They can now remove the contusion effect. That's having to do with the heavy blood loss. Skills that require the body to hit progress are not going to be progressed by your party members. So some people used to load in, and I think we found a group of these guys on woods just smacking each other with
we did
with their Red Rebel, trying to level up their strength. It doesn't work on your party members anymore.
We were walking up and we heard this like we're like, what the hell is that? We come around the corner and there's two players just hitting each other with their axes and just healing as they're doing it.
Okay, all right, hang on. Why did you never tell me that you actually recorded the voice lines for the damage taken?
My bad.
Come on, bro. You got some insider information given to us. That was so good.
Well, this is awkward now.
All right. Well, this Pew Pew podcast was sponsored by Never Being Published. When the character, this is a fun one. When you actually get flashed, if you reload when you're flashed, you will always drop your mag because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You throw it out, and then apparently you can smack your body enough to try and put the mag back in there. You got decreased damage to the grenade launcher grenades. That's great. They increased a little bit of the armor piercing damage to the 7.62 by 25 tracer rounds, the TT rounds. PCs can also now spawn SSDs into SAS drives.
Finally.
Various big containers, right? Like, why was that? It's 2020,
right.
Yo. We all got flash drives. If we don't have flash drives,
what is a SAS drive?
SAS drive is an older, faster, spinny drive.
No,
it's just a different connection.
Do those exist in the game?
Yeah, it's for a quest.
Huh.
And it might also be for...
is that like you make it in your hideout? Maybe I just never realized the name of it.
Yeah, you can make it in your hideout, and I think you can craft something else with it.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a quest item primarily. But yeah, it's 2020, and honestly, if you guys don't have at this point, if you don't have an SSD, and you're thinking to yourself, should I buy an SSD IRL to bajillion%? Save up $50 and buy a 256 gig SSD. It's worth it. Do it. Just do it. Nope. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Do it. They're making some changes to the AI scav loadout. The big plastic containers for all you loot runners, Snorline runners, sorry, now spawn more items in general. So, hey, good for you guys. Go run your loot routes. That's smile. Tarkov shooter, the player can now use any bolt action rifle.
I like that.
You don't have to use just a Mosin. That's amazing.
I like that so much. That makes me kind of sad that I did that whole thing with a Mosin, but it's done. And I don't have to worry about it now. That was punishing. Not gonna lie.
It was a meme. I spent a good like 6 mil on Mosin
easily
this wipe. On just Mosin for all those Mosin quests. They reworked the player spawn point at reserve base. Thank God.
Yep. Rework scavs and rework spawn points for PMCs. Reserve will be playable again.
Thank God.
Oh,
it was so bad.
It was.
Like, we would spawn in, and if you don't get a spawn kill, you just you didn't hit your shots because it was guaranteed. You spawned behind Black Pawn on the east side. You were staring literally into someone else's soul with the voodoo that I always run on reserve. Like, it's just silly.
Yep. And whenever you see that player spawn and they've literally just spawned in, and you're like, oh, man, I don't want to kill you, but like, you need to die.
But,
like, you're gonna try to fight me.
You would do the same if we were in the reverse role. Like, I would be dead already, and I feel bad about it.
And like, I'm probably gonna take your loot, but you know, it's fine.
Welcome to Tarkov.
Right?
Like, I don't know what else to say at that point. That's just a literal welcome to Tarkov.
Yep.
Reduce the trader's restock timer by about 2 hours. That was, I think, previously every 3. But
that's pretty good.
That's a nice little
especially
change.
with the like ammo being not found in raid as much, way more expensive on the market. It gives you an ability to get more ammo.
True. Actually, yeah, because 7N31 right now, like, you can't buy that stuff anymore. You can buy your 90 bullets if it's not sold out once every 3 hours, and then you're just waiting. So you have to buy ammo for like 2 days before you can even run 2 raids with the darn MPX or whatever you want to run. I've said a lot tonight. You're welcome. That's pretty much all the patch notes that I want to cover as I'm scrolling through reading all of this. Was there anything that I missed that you thought we wanted to cover?
What about the med bag? Was that in here? I'm looking for it right now, but like
the med pouch,
the
right?
Stims.
We heard about that.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Yeah,
is it in here?
But that's not in the patch notes. No, I was actually curious about that. So was it in the podcast that we heard about? I'm pretty sure it was in the podcast from Nikita. They mentioned that they were going to add a pouch that you could stick stims in that would be a 1-slot item that could hold, like, I think like 6 stimulants in it. I was for it.
That'd be cool.
Like, the stim game is fun. Like, let's do it. You throw that in your prison wallet, and then, you know, you got your ETGC, you got your SJ6, you got your mule, you got your super soldier. I want to take everything stim. Like, there's a reason to carry all that, and that's fun. I think that would just add to the PvP aspect of the game.
I agree.
But no, I read through and I didn't see it. I've been scrolling
as well, and I couldn't find it. I'm kind of sad about it. I hope they just throw it in there as like a here. By the way, we added this super cool thing.
Yeah. Hopefully, they do say that they like to not tell us about everything coming to the game. So, you know, maybe they omitted it on purpose. That'd be awesome.
I think the two ones that we skipped over that I would love to call attention to are fixes related to delayed actions on the lobby screen when gathering a group. So like invites and stuff like that don't take 8 years to make it across to you anymore. I think they've optimized that process a little bit. And then bugs with the elite level of vitality and attention skills. That's only going to be for like the people that are super gamers in this. But I guess it made the game unplayable. Like if your attention skill was max, you basically couldn't loot ever. Like there was some weird bug where you could not loot anything on the map ever. And it happened very, very frequently. So that basically, from what I heard, made Landmark quit the game for the time being. So that's probably why they got it fixed so quickly.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, a game breaking bug, whether or not it's a streamer, like a high level player having to experience that's just, I think it was if you looted something, you were stuck in the looting.
Or yes, that was it. And then you couldn't do anything else. That was it.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything unless you alt F4'd, and it's just like, really?
Yep.
That wasn't fixed the next day? Like that wasn't diagnosed like, okay, this is a really big heckin' issue.
Yep.
But hey, they're 12-8. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
So yeah, it's good to see very hot button issues like that get taken care of pretty quickly.
Which is something I think a lot of the community, I mean, we have been waiting on it. We're pretty new to the scene, but a lot of the community has been waiting for fast responses from BSG, and I think they're starting to like catch their stride and like starting to be able to do something like that, which is awesome.
Yep.
Like kudos to them. Overall, what are your initial reactions to all these patch notes? What was the first thing you thought of while we were reading it?
I'm excited for all the reserve stuff. I'm really hoping that they put in some optimizations. They said they put in some things to like game stability and stuff like that. They really, really need to work on hit registration. I know the servers are very low tick and there's only so much you can do with it, but the amount of desync and stuff that has made its way into the game, it did not feel nearly as desyncy last season as it has this season. And I don't know why that is, but I hope it's something that's very high on their priority list to start working on.
I I can't find the exact quote, but I know reading through here at one point they did address that. They put out that poll a couple of weeks ago about like, do you experience desync? If so, where? And they have a lot of in their fixed category on these patch notes. They have a lot of the desync for flashlights has been fixed. Desync. So I'm hopeful that you're.
It's got to be a massive spider web of netcode. Like to be the person trying to fix that, I couldn't imagine. But just making the game feel like you die where you died to bullets that got shot there, not you died to bullets that got shot 5 seconds after because you were on their screen for 5 seconds longer. Like, you know what I mean? Yep.
Nope. Exactly. The classic dilemma of playing a first-person shooter on the interwebs. Yep. I wasn't there on my screen. I don't want to die for it.
Yep. But it is what it is. But overall, I really like the stuff that they're putting in. And I can't wait for the new Woods expansion. Like they're keeping a pretty good cadence on putting new stuff out, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm for it. Keep the cadence going. That they said that the Woods expansion is going to come sometime between 12.8 and 12.9. There's a potential wipe from rumors that I've heard. There's no confirmed comments on this at all, but there's a potential wipe coming with 12.9. I think originally that came from, they were supposed to have Streets of Tarkov out by Christmas of 2020. 2020 has been, how else do you put it? 2020.
Yep.
Oof.
Big oof.
So they have confirmed that Streets of Tarkov is not coming in 2020, which is big,
totally understandable.
Sad boy days. Understandable, absolutely. But I'm guessing, personally, I said this earlier tonight, I think 12.9 is going to be the Woods expansion. I think they're going to push it to that. And then I think 13 is going to be Streets and a wipe.
I think that'd be fair. I'm okay with a delayed wipe. Selfishly.
Me too. No, I mean, yeah, it's way more fun to play Tarkov when, I think we talked about it right before we started. Like, beginning of Tarkov, making everything hard to get, all that loot. Like, you're super happy to find some good armor. Make everything more expensive. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beginning wipe Tarkov is the most fun Tarkov, hands down. Yeah. We are in Chad Central right now. We're running around, joking around, wearing Altons and Gen 4s and slicks and just being goofy and shooting at each other with rip rounds. And, like, that's fun. It's all fun and dandy. But, like, the true Tarkov experience, the, like, loot goblin in me wants to want gear again, you know? So, whenever the next wipe is going to be, I think I'm pretty sure the Woods expansion will not include a wipe. I don't see why it would.
I honestly hope that it doesn't. I really do. I think it's still a little bit too soon for a wipe, if I'm honest.
I agree. And then after that, I think the next big expansion would be Streets. I did hear whispers before of like Lighthouse coming before Streets. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I really don't feel like that's going to be the case. And at first I kind of wanted it to be the case, but at this point I don't, if I'm honest. Streets is going to take over everything. Yeah. Streets is going to give it all to everyone. And it's going to be hard to even like quest for Kappa when Streets comes out. It's like,
I would love for them to release them both at the same time. Thoughts?
Lighthouse and Streets? I mean, that'd be great. I just don't know if do you think they'd have it ready? I don't think
so, but it'd be cool if they did them both at the same time. Or if they just they pushed back the date because they wanted, like, that became a new goal. Like that combined with 2020 and everything that's happened, but the new goal is like, we have this extra time, we can put all the resources into releasing a huge chunk of content, 2 maps at the same time, not just one. And that'd be really cool. I mean, the playability and like the amount of time that streamers would stay on the game would be much longer, because they wouldn't just have like one new map to go to and play for a couple months. They would have 2 maps, and it would probably be double the time because they'd want to spend a lot of time on both maps.
There you go. Big brain from Iceman_1H. That's a beautiful idea.
Thanks, man. Have those every now and then.
I mean, more often than not, let's be honest. It's like, let's push up into high tech from front escalators and ollie. We won't die.
Wait. Are you talking about yourself now? Because that's what you do all the time, man.
Whoa. I don't need you calling out myself like that, okay? I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up there. I've been scanning through the rest of the patch notes. I read it. 12.8, in my opinion, going to be a phenomenal patch. It's not a bunch of new content like we were hoping for, but I think the quality of life changes in general. oh, we needed them. And they are a huge step in the right direction. I have not heard a single complaint from anyone who has read these patch notes about anything. No one's just like, well, where's this or where's this? Where's this? It's just all like, holy crap. This is all.
It's a lot.
Amazing.
It's a lot.
It's all amazing.
Yep.
So I'm excited for it. 12.8. We're going to be playing it live on the twitch.televisions. Speaking of that, Ice, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Iceman_1H. Also have a Discord, which is linked in all of those places. And yeah, I'm usually live 4 days a week, sometimes 5, depending on schedule and family stuff. Usually about 1 to 6 Central. And time does vary by an hour or two, but somewhere around there. Yeah, where can we find you, Ty?
Well, to add to Ice's, all the beautiful expansions to Tarkov that have been coming out, we've been convincing him to do night streams more, so you can probably catch both myself and Ice streaming on twitch.tv / TyrelosaurusFLEX. I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. Obviously you're watching this on YouTube, but feel free. I'm gonna have all the links in the description down below. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments down below about 12.8. Do you have any wish lists? Do you have any complaints? Do you have any like, holy crap, I've been waiting for this for 4 years, Greg? Like, let's hear from you guys. I'd love to hear.
And I also have my YouTube as well. Don't have a vanity link quite yet. Super close to the sub count, but don't have it.
He's getting there.
But, yeah,
we're gonna put his link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to Ice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to this long 12.8 podcast. I appreciate the heck out of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or evening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Take it easy. Peace.